Kia ora, this is Arun Jacob, your friendly and frank licensed New Zealand immigration advisor as well as education advisor. In this video, I will talk about how we can pursue a PhD course in New Zealand. We do get a lot of inquiries, that is my team and I, in AJV services. As most of you are aware, we pretty much work with international students who come to New Zealand and want to pursue a course here and then eventually want to seek long-term employment as well as residence. So that's the kind of clients we mostly work with, and it's been a pleasure to deal with all of you. So every once in a while, we do get an inquiry for PhD, and for us, it's a very welcome happening because we love to work with students who are gunning at the highest level of the academic achievement and. Anybody who is aspiring to do a PhD is most welcome. And that's not just personally from us here in AJV. I think the government of New Zealand has also gone out of its way to welcome PhD students into New Zealand because we are trying to create a knowledge economy. We are trying to develop some of our soft skills, so to speak, in terms of attracting people who can do great research in New Zealand and then share that knowledge with the rest of the world. So, as a country, as a government, our focus has been to attract top level researchers from across the world. And to encourage this, what the government has done is something brilliant. What they have done is they have given an international student who is planning to do a PhD in New Zealand, they have given them the same status as a domestic student, which means a student who is planning to do a PhD course in New Zealand will not pay international student fees, but will end up paying only domestic student fees, so which is significantly much lesser than what an international student pays. So it is a great advantage to be able to take advantage of this SOP that has been provided by the government of New Zealand for PhD students, because we are absolutely wanting to create a fantastic knowledge economy, and we do require good researchers, especially if you come to do research in some of our skill shortage areas or in our identified future growth areas like biotechnology and creative industries and information and communication technology. I think you would be absolutely be looked upon as very favorable international students, and hopefully go on to become future residents and citizens of New Zealand. So that's the first advantage is that you end up paying domestic fees and not international fees. So that's a very big advantage. The second advantage is there's a very good possibility that you might actually get a scholarship or a grant. And from my own experience, we have dealt with a lot of PhD students in the more than a decade that my team and I we have been in this business of assisting international students. And in many instances, a lot of our students who opted for doing a PhD course in New Zealand not only got a full tuition grant from the university, but they also got living expenses as part of the grant, and which means technically it was free education that these students were getting in New Zealand. I'm not saying that every student who aspires to get into PhD will get a grant or a scholarship or be able to do free education. But if your proposal is good, your research area is fantastic, and it is something that coincides with the research interests of that particular university, I do believe that there is a very good chance that you could end up getting a scholarship or a grant and being taken care of by the government of New Zealand. Even if you do not get a scholarship or a grant, as I stated, you only pay domestic fees, which is not very high. It will, mostly would be around $5,000 or $6,000 New Zealand dollars per annum, which is not a lot of money. And to offset the fact that you would be paying a tuition fee, as a PhD student, you also get unlimited work rights, which is brilliant. Which means, while you're doing your research, which is not like regular conventional college or university where you go and attend lectures every day, you're pretty much working on by yourself under the supervision of your lecturer or supervisor. And so you wouldn't have time on your hand. And if you are able to get yourself into a job that is also related to the research area that you are exploring, I think it's a fantastic opportunity. So you get unlimited work rights as a PhD student. So that is the other big advantage. The other advantage, if you're married, and I would expect a lot of PhD students to be mature students and I anticipate that you would be in a partnership or in a marriage. And so, if you're married and you're planning to come to New Zealand with your partner or your spouse, the partner or spouse would also be given full working rights. So, technically, you could be doing your studies, and your spouse could be going and doing a full time job while you're studying. Or if you are also able to find work related to your research, or even work that is not related to your research, there could be two people who are working. Of course, I need to caution and state at this point that your focus should be on completing your course and not so much on work. But if it is that it's work that is also related to your research, I think it is a fantastic opportunity for any PhD student. The other advantage, if you have kids and you come to New Zealand with your kids, the kids will get the same status as domestic students, and they will be able to attend schools in New Zealand and pay only domestic fees. And so that's another very big advantage overall. So as you can see, the government is going all out to attract good researchers into New Zealand, and we would absolutely love to welcome some of you to come and work with us at AJV Services so that we can help you. Now, the unfortunate thing about international students who want to do a PhD in New Zealand, when you approach a conventional agency or a consultancy, as you call, these guys more than likely will discourage you from doing a PhD because number one, it is very, very I won't say troublesome, but it is much more complex to deal with a student, PhD student, as dealing with a student who wants to go for a regular master's or a postgraduate diploma or a graduate diploma. So what a lot of agencies will do is try and desell the PhD to you because number one, it is a bit more complex, and a lot of these guys do not simply have the competency to work with somebody of your caliber. So they will try and make you move away from PhD. So watch out for people like that because they are not making that suggestion in your best interest. The second reason why a lot of agencies or consultancies do not strongly encourage a PhD is because there is not a lot of money they make as commission when they recruit a PhD student. Most universities have kept the commission for recruiting international students who want to pursue a PhD, and it is almost one third or one quarter only earning for a PhD student as compared to a conventional student who is going for some of the courses. So because of these two reasons that the process is a bit more complex, and having to deal with a PhD student means that that particular agency also needs to have a higher capability, which in most instances they do not. Also, as I stated, because they make less commission as compared to a regular course, they will try and desell the idea to you. So you need to watch out for people like that because they are not making these suggestions in your best interest. Instead, work with a company like AJV. As I keep stating in my videos, we have a higher purpose besides being a profitable business entity. We are committed to good students, and more importantly, we are committed to New Zealand's growth. And so, if it means that we have to deal with a lot of PhD students and we don't earn as much commission as with other conventional students, that is absolutely fine with us because it's not always the money factor that we are looking at. We are also looking at the satisfaction factor of having worked with high caliber students who will go on to become very, very productive future workers or residents or citizens of New Zealand. So that's the kind of joy that we like to live with. I mean, my team and I, we have been in this business for almost 15 years now, and I'm still in touch with some of our early PhD students who had come to New Zealand to pursue their research and today are very, very well established in New Zealand and doing well. They continue to stay in touch with us, and we have this beautiful relationship with them, and it's very, very fulfilling to see them and their families thriving in New Zealand and also contributing to the economy here in New Zealand through their fantastic research they have done through our world-class institutions. So considering to do a PhD in New Zealand is a very, very good option. We at AJV would love to work with you. In some instances, we might ask you to put up a small fee to process your application because, as stated, there is much more work involved with a PhD student as compared to a conventional student. So because of the more time and effort that is required, we do have a small fee that we charge PhD students. But you will get the benefit of working with a professional and committed company like AJV, which is headed by a licensed immigration advisor like myself. So, which means we will present your student visa application and your entire admission process in a very professional manner. More importantly, we are present in New Zealand and we will continue to guide you after you come here into New Zealand as well. And if you plan to bring your family along, we will also be able to assist you with those visas, which a normal agency or a consultancy cannot do because they do not have licensed immigration advisors. So, for all these reasons, I think you must consider New Zealand as a destination. You must consider PhD as a course, and you must consider AGV as your representative or your company that will assist you with the admission and visa process to come and do a PhD here in New Zealand. And we look forward to working with high caliber students who want to do a PhD, and we would absolutely be delighted to engage with you and ensure that you get into the right university and get the right supervisor and also enter the country with the right visas in place. And as I said before, we'll continue to converse with you after you come to New Zealand as well, and hope to see that day when you become a successful future worker or researcher or resident or citizen of New Zealand. I hope that information was useful about how to pursue a PhD in New Zealand. Please share this video with your family and friends. And as always, thanks for watching my videos. I look forward to making more and also look forward to welcoming you into New Zealand. Kia ora.